Best of r/entitled parents episode 171. Subscribe for edit videos daily. Entitled family don't like party food. New on this subreddit and still getting the hang of Reddit in general. My friend told me this story belongs here, but I don't know. So, a lot of my mother's side of the family is rich. We don't really get along, but since it means a lot to my mom, I went to my cousin's 37 birthday party. They are fancy, so they have this French portion dishes being served with all kinds of food, some I never thought possible, like pears risotto, with the tables set outside so the guests can enjoy the lovely weather. Comes in the entitled family. My cousin's sister-in-law, not entitled, greets her sister with enthusiasm and is politely greeting everyone while her entitled kids and entitled husband stay behind, not talking to anyone. It even took me a while to notice them there. They look around like they are looking for someone, but with a frown on their faces. EK1 almost shouted, "There is no food here." EK2, "Why did you take us to a party with no food?" EF with a smug, "Told you we should have stopped at McDonald's." The entitled sister starts to look around, going over the tables, making nasty faces to every guest plates, all this while texting. That's some skill. My cousin, trying to be a good host, asks her and her brother what would they like to eat, which the brother answers none of that. My cousin asks if they would like to serve something from the kitchen or they could prepare something they'd prefer. They agree, not even a thank you or anything, and they go inside. I didn't see what happened over there, but my mom told me later that they agreed on heating some barbecue leftovers. I saw the entitled kids coming back, phone in hands, sitting at a couch for a few minutes. Then entitled father said something to the kids, car keys in hands, and the three left without saying a word to anyone. My cousin comes back with a huge plate of barbecue and was baffled when sister-in-law told him they left for McDonald's. The woman was so ashamed she was almost crying. I didn't see them coming back. I left shortly after. But I'll never forget how those teens, I don't know their ages, but they looked at least 15. Were able to make an entire party so shocked with their manners and how their father didn't even feel ashamed. Thank you. Next. So a little backstory. Our school recently had an online Zoom color war. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic we didn't have one in actual school. When it was announced, they said it would be boys versus girls to see who the better gender was. And I'm like, crap, this is stupid, but now I get 2 free days to do my homework. Next thing I know, I'm being announced as general of my grade and over the younger grades. I'm in the oldest grade and there are 2 grades below me, one with a lieutenant general and the youngest with a captain. I'm like, shoot, well it looks like I'm organizing it now. So anyway, I set up a chat with the generals and one of the things was to get a kid to say a speech about the theme of your team. I volunteered a guy from my grade and assumed all the other leaders saw my message. Boy was I wrong. Meet the cast me, Banana Da, G, Younger General M, entitled Mom. Later, when we are collaborating on who will do what, I see on his document that he has someone from his grade ready to do the speech. I suspected that maybe that would happen and was a little annoyed, but whatever. I told him I already got a guy for that, so I guess be nice and tell him that there was a mistake and that we already have someone for that. I assume he does and I go on with my busy day. A few hours later he calls me up audibly shaken. He stutters something along the lines of his mother was like on his grade group chat somehow, probably on the kid's phone, and started yelling that we must let her kid speak or she's calling the principal. I get that she was upset because the kid put a lot of time and effort into his speech, but like, really? Classic Karen move. Go to teach em young. Anyway, I'm just like, I'm okay. I guess I'll deal with it. So at the time when we have to give the speeches, my guy gives an epic speech and I'm trying to get the teacher's attention before he ends the meeting. He hosts a meeting for just the generals and I explain the situation. He says, oh, well, I was wondering why he looked like he was ready to cry. I'll see if I can get him to say his speech during another program, which I thought was nice. In the end, I don't know what happened, but no one ever said anything about it after that, so I guess things got worked out. Bad ending, I know, but I think he got to say his speech and I didn't hear from him after that. I feel bad for the kid because it was an error on mine and the general's part, but the mom went a little mega Karen on us. Thank you. Next. I never thought I'd encounter an EP in real life, but that was naive and here I am with this lovely story. Just for reference, I work at a mall kiosk that sells game systems meant to play like the old NES systems. Same graphics, same controllers, etc. Obligatory on mobile. This is my first post. Cast, ed, entitled Dad. Me, manager. I was 10 minutes away from closing time when a very angry ED walks up to my kiosk and slams down the game system. He claims he bought it yesterday and the graphics are too distorted for him despite him being able to see the nearly identical display screen that customers usually try out before they buy the game. I calmly explain that the game is supposed to be like that but ED doesn't care. Cue my forced retrieval of M, who is not working that day but conveniently in the mall. M, what seems to be the problem, sir? ED, these stupid graphics are all distorted. My son has eye problems. He can't see the screen. M, sir, look at the display, it's no different. ED, well then I want one of those. M, it's the exact same. ED, what you're doing is illegal. I'm going to call an attorney. This isn't fair to Emmy or my son. Just give Emmy a display game. M, you want one of the games that's already been used for months, touched by hundreds of people, and probably carrying germs? ED, that's what I said, isn't it? M, after calling the boss, fine, take it. I know it doesn't have a happy ending. And yes, a large yelling man left me and my manager, both effing very short, scared and angry, but I closed up and left and decided to get the only revenge I could rid it. Thank you. Next. ET, entitled Teacher. So I was new in school and I arrived at the 4th quarter. The thing about this new school was that the map they gave us looked like a 3-year-old drew it. It was my first day at that school and I was trying to find my homeroom. This is 7th grade. I ended up in the 6th grade hallway on the 2nd floor. I tried to go down the back stairs and get to my homeroom. The school has a stupid rule that you were not allowed to go in the back stair before first period. Turns out ET was standing there. ET, what are you doing? Me, going down the stairs and trying to get to class. ET, you know that is against the rules. Me, it's my first day here so I didn't know. Sorry Ms. ET, I know you are lying. I have seen you plenty of times around here breaking this same rule over and over. You are coming with me. We head into the principal office and ET starts saying how I broke the rules again and was taking back and stuff. I explained to the principal that I'm new at this school. I gave my name and the principal checked through the system and found out that I was a new student. I never saw ET again and I hope she got fired. Sorry if writing is bad, I'm in mobile. Thank you. Next. So I never really thought that I'd be posting here, ever, but this happened today morning. For a little background, I'm a 19-year-old in India and today, our state government eased some lockdown restrictions so my father could reopen his showroom. Hence, he asked me to wash the car and I thought that I need to wash my motorcycle as well, so why not? An entitled bitch-ass neighbor. NK, nice kid, 18-year-old girl. Kid because she's the child of the neighbor in question. Dad, my dad. Me, good ol' me, your very own OP. So I'll live with my parents for the time being because of the ongoing pandemic, and I try my best to help at home because why not? So since today the restrictions eased a little bit, Dad wanted to reopen his showroom and so he needed the car, but because he was busy with his stock market stuff, he told me to go wash the car, so I said yes, because in a brown household you seldom get a choice. XD, just kidding. I wanted to help. I go outside with a bucket of water and a rag to wash the car with. And when I'm halfway done, and walks out of his house to pick up the newspaper, he sees me washing the car and this is what happens. Hey OP. What a good son washing his dad's car. Me, good morning. It's nothing, I try to help in whatever I can. That's really nice. So dad's opening the showroom today? Me, yeah, finally there's some easing of restrictions so. Hey, so since you're already out with a bucket and my car is right here, why don't you give mine a wash after you're done with yours? It's not like you're working a job and you're free at home, so wash mine too. Me, uncle, actually I'm in the middle of a project with my professor, and I need to attend a call in 20 minutes so I don't think I can. Side note, when you're Indian, you're taught to respect elders at all times no matter how stupid or disrespectful they are towards you, or comment about your lifestyle or intellect or looks or background. Oh really? If you were really working such important projects with your professor, then why did you get only 73% in class 12? For your information, class 12 is the final year of school and its score is important. But I was going through some stuff then, which is why I couldn't score very well. How does he know my score? Because fuck Indian neighbors who pester you until you tell them. However, class 12 was 2 years ago and I've been doing pretty great since I joined uni and was taken under the wing of my professor, who did his PhD in the US and is a renowned researcher in the field of computer science. Me, a little irritated obviously. Uncle, not that it's any of your business, but I'm actually part of an exclusive research group based in the US and my parents know this and they're proud that their son is part of a group that has funding from the US government. But you still can't wash an extra car. What's the point of whatever it is that you're doing? Learn how to talk to your elders with respect. Me, why don't you tell NK to wash your car? At this point I think I can just go back to washing dad's car and that'll be the end of it. Boy was I wrong. What did you say to me? How dare you suggest NK wash the car? You just want to see her, don't you? You're a pedophile who's been eyeing my daughter since she was 17. As punishment you'll wash my car and that's that. At this point I've had enough and I'm about to fire away with insults, but NK, who's my friend, comes in, along with my parents coming out of the house because of the commotion. NK, while I'm explaining what's happening to my parents, Dad, I just heard what you said. OP is my friend and he has been together with one girl since the last 3 years and his parents know about their relationship as well. So please stop making a commotion and let's get back inside. I'll wash the car. No number. I've seen how he looks at girls. He's a pedo. Dad, stop right now. My son is in no way obligated to wash your car, and he will not. Also, he doesn't care about your daughter. He has been in a relationship since 3 years and we know and we're fine with it. So don't make a commotion and back off. Still hurling insults towards my family as to how uncultured we are because I have a girlfriend and my parents are okay with it. Screaming even. Dad, go back inside right now if you don't want to be punched in the face by me. I'll call the members of the neighborhood and we'll see WHOs right after that. Now my dad had a pretty loud voice and when he yells, it's really scary. Also the fact that he's over 6 feet 2 adds to the scare. So just mumbled something and went back in. So that's when I realized that my neighbor is batshit crazy and then I realized that my call was almost about to start. Whoops. So I ran back in and got back to work and Dad told me that he'll finish washing the car. Please be gentle if the editing/formatting is screwed. I'm on mobile. Thank you. Next. Yeah, this story is a bit ridiculous. If you read the title. OP me EM entitled Mother PO Police Officer GG Good Guy. This happened a while ago, before the pandemic. Backstory: I'm a 15-year-old male who's a bit tall for my age and people keep thinking I'm an adult because of this. I have this long black hair. It goes down just a hair below my shoulders. Pun intended. I usually keep it up or out of my face, but today I didn't. So my parents are away. BT I can be trusted by myself. I'm sitting on my front porch on a windy day, just looking out into the sunset. I wave to a few neighbors. Then EM arrives. "Excuse me sir," she said in that Karen voice. "Yes?" I reply. "Yeah, you need to get a haircut." "No, I don't," I reply. "Child, you are a boy. Your hair is supposed to be short." I look at her, confused. I don't need to cut my hair. Note, this EM is short as hell, like 4'9". I'm sitting in one of those swinging chairs that are suspended from the porch's ceiling, so she probably doesn't see my height. I've read enough stories to know what's about to happen. I got up, she stubblier backwards away from me, falling off my porch. Note, I live in a neighborhood where here are no fences. She then screams that I tried to rape her. She runs to the end of my yard and screams for the police. A neighbor calls them. The police arrive and EM keeps screaming that I raped her. The officer, PO, comes up to me. Is what she is saying true? Nope, I say. The mother is still over there screaming that I raped her. So, I invite the office inside to look at security camera footage. My parents have cameras because they leave town frequently. As soon as I open up the door, and starts wailing and runs away. In the end, apparently the POs of my town know who the EM is, because she's called them several times on stupid bullshit. The end. Thank you. Next. I posted here recently about my mother bitching about my dogs. Well, she's back. For context, my GF who lives with me is pregnant with our son, so she insists on coming over basically every single day to see how her unborn grandson is doing. My mother only cares about children when they're younger than 7. For whatever reason, she just loses interest at that point. My nephews are 5 and 6, so they're borderline. I also have another younger nephew who's 1.5, but nothing beats a newborn, I guess. She has been calling my son her baby, as well as insisting we name our son Thomas after my brother who passed away many years ago. 2/3 of my nephews have some form of Thomas in their names. My oldest nephew's name is Alexander Thomas and my youngest nephew is called Mason Eli Thomas. I do not want my son's name to be Thomas. After all, my girlfriend and I already decided on a name, which absolutely is not Thomas. I was never a fan of the name Thomas. No offense any Thomases out there, outside of it being my brother's name and I love my brother. So my son's name isn't Thomas and won't be Thomas. Not even a middle name. New drinking game. Please take a shot every time I say Thomas. So she's already pissy about the name, because it's not what she wants. She started arguing with me because I don't love my brother/family because I won't name my son after my brother. I adore my brother, he was my best friend and I still go to his grave every month to visit him and give him life updates. Kinda not over it, but whatever. I remember him telling me that if he ever became famous he didn't want any babies named after him. I take this now as Thomas didn't want any of us to name our kids after him, because he didn't want anyone to name their kids after him. She's now demanding my son be named Thomas, or be allowed to be called Tommy, which was my brother's childhood nickname. I asked her to leave because I didn't want to get upset because I miss my brother. She is now texting me about how much of a RD I am for not listening to her bitch and not following her orders. After all, she raised me. She didn't. Me and all of my siblings lived with my grandma and grandpa from ages 6-16. I've been told previously on here to not allow her back, but she's mostly otherwise bearable than becoming pissy like this. What do I do? Do I not allow her back till she drops it? Do I only allow her to stay for a short period of time? Should I do what she wants and name my son Thomas against my brother's will so she can shut up?